everybody, and welcome to Girl for Jesus, shining God's light every day. Thank you very much for joining in. I am so happy and very excited to connect with you guys from wherever you are watching from. This is God's best. We'll be sharing our journeys with Christ. We'll be sharing our salvation stories. Yeah, this is God's space, your special place. In case you're new here, this is your forever place. Today we will be talking about prayer and I'll be sharing with you my experience with prayer. Wow. What a very, very beautiful time. Yes, I really, really love prayer and I am so passionate about prayer. And to God be all the glory. At the time I received him as my personal savior, he made me fall in love with prayer. Yeah, and of course, throughout the whole journey, it's a lot that I have learned from God, especially in the line of prayer. Now that this is what we are talking about, prayer. And of course, even before I dig into what I am about to share with you guys out there, I think this is something I would actually encourage everyone to fall in love with: prayer. Prayer in the morning, in the afternoon, you know those songs. Prayer in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening, and in all the time. Yes. So what has it been like? How has it been? What has my journey? Yeah, let me put it like that. What has my journey of prayer been like? Yeah, for starters, my prayer journey has been one of the most interesting journeys ever. And I would say confidently that I am who I am right now. I am where I am, and am what I am because of prayer. I usually tell people that sometimes I look back and I see all the things I prayed for or I prayed about then are the things I am seeing right now in my life, which taught me that I should be careful of what I pray about, of what I pray for, because everything we mention or we take to God in the place of prayer receives an answer. Yeah. So I have actually learned a lot. I have relearned, I have unlearned. So it has been that a journey. You learn, you unlearn, you relearn. So it's quite a lot. So it has been a beautiful story. A beautiful journey. It has been a learning process. Like every day, it's something new that you learn from the presence of prayer. But uh, one thing that has been so clear to me is that we pray. Our prayer life is influenced by our relationship with God. How you relate with God will determine how often you want to be in His presence. Well, now I will say to you, I from the time I received Christ, I've always felt in my heart, and I know like God is a father in my life. Like is my father, my heavenly God is my father. So it's a daughter and father relationship. So every time, like us who like how you relate with your dad, like you will take everything that bothers you there straight to him. Like you always want to have a talk with your dad. So that is how my prayer life has always been. Like I always want to be in his presence. Like I always want to speak with him. Yeah, everything and anything, by the way. The hard things, the easy things, the simple things. Sometimes I just be a crying daughter, like I'm just crying about nothing, just to grab attention of my dad. So that is how my praying journey has been. Sometimes I usually judge people that when you meet me in my praying space, you begin to wonder, whom is she talking with? Like, whom is she judging? Because I'll come in his presence and I'm like, God, daddy, no, like I'm not happy about this. Like, this is not going the right way. Like, this is not going, like, God, you know me. You're my father. You know me. I cannot manage this. Just help me and, give me the ability to do this. Like, I always come in his throne, in his presence with honesty. Like, I know, God, you know me. I am your daughter. I have no doubt in that. And I know that you're the only one that can see me through. Yeah. And also, another thing I have learned from this is that our God in heaven listens to every prayer that we mention. Like I already said, he listens to even the tiniest prayer, even the silent prayer. Have you been there? And then you're like, I wish it doesn't rain today. I wish Kasana comes today. I wish I eat an ice cream today, or a chocolate, or I miss KFC or CJ's, like all that. Yeah, those are the prayers that the Lord listens. There are times when I'm like, today Vanangea, I wish today we can even like have a CJ or what, like on a good day. And you're there, you receive a visitor or a friend just hollers at you and is like, man, oh come on, let's go out. And then boom, you're at CJ's and you're like, by the way, this is something I craved in the morning, and I was just telling someone, or just saying to myself that today I need this. So that has actually taught me that God is so concerned about everything and anything about us, even those small prayers. And it has also taught me to be careful at what I think about, to be careful at what comes from within, because to God, that's a prayer. There's some things that are so silent, you're wishing and maybe like you can't even utter out. The Lord listens. The Lord listens. And these days I am so mindful, because I'm like, yeah, you might think of something which is really negative or which is not bad, and you will see it manifesting, and you'll be like, why did this happen? But in the first place, you thought about it, and to God it registered as a prayer. Yeah. And in my whole journey, I have learned that prayer is powerful. Like, it gives power. Have we heard of things like never play with a praying woman? Like, that statement is not just a statement, it's real. Like, have you heard of things like there is a secret in a place of prayer? Man, indeed there is a secret in a place of prayer. Because I've seen it. If you can pray for a blind man and he sees, or for a sick person and receives healing, so how much power are you looking at? I want to tell you, friends out there that are really, really watching this, my dear friends, there is power in prayer. I have seen it with my eyes. Like, there is too much power that, you go in the place of prayer and you're presenting to your Father in heaven something which you even feel like, this is too big, like it's like a real mountain right in front of you. But the moment you place it, like you place it in the hands of God, oh my God, like you don't like it doesn't even leave marks that something happened here. It like how should I say it? Like, it just goes by itself. It doesn't even leave a mark. Like, no one can even tell that something happened here. Yeah, there is power in prayer. And I would encourage someone out there, just get used to being in the place of prayer. There is nothing impossible in the place of prayer. I have been there. I am always there, and I'm not even about to quit that place of prayer. It has worked for me. I have seen God's power. You wake up and maybe you're feeling like a bit of some kind of headache, or you're not feeling yourself, but you pray. I actually have a testimony. Like, last year, I was like feeling, I'm not a person who falls sick. I'm not a person who, is weak, ish. Because I tell God, I'm like, your daughter will not fall sick. Your daughter will not do this. Your daughter, this is not my story. So, my body goes sick, some time sick. And everyone was coming, visiting, carrying juice, what. But like, I woke up one morning, I'm like, but I'm not comfortable with all this. Like, instead of people going to work, they are just here sitting here, checking on me, bringing juice, and that company is supposed to be doing something else, to elevate them, to increase them, to add something on them. But now they are coming and bringing for me. And I went to God and I was like, dear Father in heaven, I don't want to fall sick anymore. I woke up, I remember I was singing this song, by his stripes we were healed. I don't remember the exact song, but it was about he sent the word and healed my disease. Exactly that one. So it was in my spirit. I sang it, and I woke up like by faith from a place of prayer. I was like, God, from today and onwards, I declare myself I healed soul. I healed girl. And I want to tell you the truth. In the evening, when people came, the people I stay with in my house, when they came back from work, sorry, they reached at home. They saw that chick was just stayed in the chair, cross-legging, chilling. And now, if I'm in my house, me, I'm just a noisemaker. I'm a happy soul. They saw me as just there dancing, enjoying life. And they were like, is this the girl we left sleeping in the morning? I'm like, me, I cannot fall sick. I am a daughter of Christ. Like, I cannot fall sick. And like, there is power. I just prayed about it. I mentioned it to God, and the next minute I was okay. And that is just one out of the many. Yeah. So another thing that I will that I've learned in this whole journey of prayer is that it's very important to pray in knowledge. Yeah, it's very bad actually when you're praying and you're praying in ignorance. Sometimes you're praying and then you don't even know the God you're praying to. You don't even know what you're praying about. And now there is power in knowing, and not just knowing, but knowing the word of God. Sometimes you're praying and you're praying for something the Lord has already given you, or you're praying and you don't even know how to pray, and you don't even you really know nothing about this whole thing of God and prayer. So this is really something I'm working on, but I would advise someone out there to know God, know his word. So how do you know God? Knowing his word. Know his word, understand his word. It will, your prayer will yield fruit. Sometimes we pray and our prayers are don't receive answers or don't yield fruit because we don't know how to pray and we don't know what to pray for. Like we have no knowledge about this whole thing, which is very important. This is something I've learned, that you need to know God, know his word, know how to pray, all that thing. Yeah, there is knowledge in power. And knowing will help us, especially in the journey of prayer. And then something else that I've learned in this whole journey of prayer is that not all the time is for praying about yourself. You know, um, I've had I love going to the prayer mountain. I've had times when I'm going to the prayer mountain and everything that is on my head is about me, my family, and the people I know, and that's all. And when I reach at the at the prayer mountain, at the prayer mountain, I find myself carrying a whole different burden. Like I'm praying about so and so, I'm praying, like God gives me names and you find I'm praying for them. God directs me to a whole different thing. So, and that has taught me that actually God is not interested about you praying for yourself and you, but he loves his people so very much, and he appreciates every person that comes to his presence on behalf of another. Something that I have learned, and something that I enjoy doing right now, because those days I'll be like, banange. Now I went there, actually I would feel like I'm disorganized. I went there writing my whole list, but when I step there, I don't even look at the list. Like God gives me a whole different direction. You find me praying for so and so whom I even met, or sometimes I've not even talked with that person, but God directs me and God openly tells me, pray about this, pray about this, pray about this. And every time God directs me to a certain direction, I know he's teaching me something, because like I said, how you understand God or how you relate with God, it will
it will determine how he will communicate with you and how you will accept to learn from him. Now that he's my dad, I always sit before him and take counsel and listen from him. And every direction he takes me, I know it's a lesson. Like my dad is teaching me something. My God is teaching me something.
Then another thing I have learned in this whole journey of prayer, I've learned that to come to God in openness, in truth. Now, I know we all know that we cannot hide anything from God, but sometimes we try to hide, like you can't mention it, but I have learned that there is nothing I can hide from my Father in heaven. So I'll come to Him in truth, and I'll sit down there and I'm like, God, please, I invite you, Daddy, come and sit. And I tell you, such a thing has happened. Such and such a thing has hurt me so very much. Like, I feel so bad. Maybe I was at work and something happened, and I'm telling a story, by the way. And in that whole process, I am feeling like even voices are coming through. Like I'm listening to the voice of the Lord. He's telling me, no, no, that one you did bad. You need to apologize. Oh, and you find I'm going back and I'm like, give me the grace so that I should fix this if I'm the one in wrong. And sometimes he's like, no, here, yes, this person did wrong, but you have to show grace. You have to show grace. And it's never easy for me, but he will always pave a way for me. And before you know it, we have solved issues. So I come to him in openness. God, this one is so hard for me. Like, I have like I love, marketing and doing those digital stuff. So more times I would be at my phone, like trying to fix things here. And then someone told me, but there is a way you love your phone. Like all the time you're texting, and I'm like, I'm actually not texting, like I'm doing business on my phone. But it's stuck in me. It's stuck in me, and I'm like, by the time someone has mentioned, that means it's something that needs attention. And I went to God, I'm like, dear God, just help me. I don't want to be on the phone and I'm making people complain. Now, like it is said, if there is something you're doing and it's making people uncomfortable, other like people around you uncomfortable, that means it needs change. But if you're doing a thing and that thing, sometimes we usually say, after all, me, I know what I'm doing is not bad. Yeah, but you can only know that what you're doing is not bad if that thing you're not doing is not affecting God, it's not affecting God's people, and it's not affecting you. You see? So for as long as it is not sitting well with God's people, it might be sitting well with you, but it's not sitting well with God's people. That means it needs some kind of adjustment. So when they told me, I went to the place of God. I'm like, someone has mentioned this. God, I present it to you. Help me. And just like that, just like that, like I found myself planning myself my day so well. And by the time I reach home or what, or I'm meeting with people, I have no business on phone. I have no business on phone. So because of time. Well, another thing I have learned to work in prayer. We've heard of things like working tea, what, and I've also learned to work in prayer. This is something the Lord expects from all of us, that wherever you're going, whatever you're doing, you should be in worship, like you should be in communion with God. And this is something that I enjoy doing every time I am in the kitchen or I am walking somewhere or every public space, like I am in prayer. I'm praying, which has actually helped me, because me, you'll never find me off guard. We are living in a very busy world, and sometimes the devil is trying to just fix in here and there, and it's trying to put you down, and maybe someone talks to you badly. And like, if you're not praying in prayer or in the spirit, immediately you want to respond negatively, which really brings a whole big clash and fight and here and there. But when you're in the spirit, it has helped me. When you're in the spirit and you enter an office, or you even go to shop something and someone gives you attitude, when you're in the spirit, somehow the Lord will calm you down. I think that's the reason the Lord always wants us to just keep in communion with him, because he's trying to prevent some things from happening and disturbing us and putting us down. So you're there in you're walking, and then something really bad happens, but it doesn't affect you, it doesn't even reach you, because you are in prayer. And I think I'll share this testimony, like I call it a testimony, or I don't know what I should call it, but it's something beautiful that really I love. Every time I'm like on a public road where I'm surrounded by many people, like I always find myself praying for the people around me. One time I remember I was on the road, and then I was next to a taxi, and that taxi was carrying a woman, and the woman was having a child, and I looked at the child like this. Sorry, the woman. She was so far, she was like so depressed, like her face was looking like, oh, I have problems. Then I was eh, I was like, I started praying for that lady. I didn't even know her. I started praying for her, praying for her, praying for her. And after that, like in the next minute, I found peace in my heart. I felt so happy. I felt so fulfilled. And that was a confirmation that the Lord has listened to my prayer. And whatever that lady was going through, I don't know her. I've never met her ever since that time. But I know wherever she is, she's fine. And those are the things that I've enjoyed in the place of prayer, that you're walking somewhere and you're praying, speaking, to God about the people that you have met. And I have this habit of, whenever I'm stepping out of my house, I say, God, whoever will meet me today will receive favor, will receive great things. And every time I'm walking, like, I'm so happy. I'm like, yeah, whoever has met me is covered. Whoever has met me today, is, it's fun to be in the presence of God, and it's fun to be in the life of prayer. And then another thing that I've learned is that not all the time is for asking. You know, like, okay, I sat one day and even I asked myself, like, okay, if I had a friend or I have a child, every time he or she comes in my presence is for asking. Friend, I want this. Mommy, I want this. Or whatever. Like, all the time is for asking, how do I feel? you know and I've learned that, you know sometimes let it be most of the times, if possible, like, come in the presence and just want to have come in the presence wanting to just have a time with your Father in heaven. And sometimes I find myself, I've come and I'm like, Daddy, I'm not here to ask for anything. Here to have a time with you. And I will sit down. Oh, I will just be in the position that I'm comfortable, and I will listen from God. Like, that is the time actually the Lord speaks to me more than ever. The time I come without asking. And sometimes I'm even funny. I'm like, Daddy, can I ask for something? And I'm even laughing. And I'm like, okay, Daddy, yeah, okay, give me some money. I'm running dry. Like, I'm running dry. Give me some money. Your daughter wants to look so good. I need nice shoes now. We good. Like, I'm so happy. And surprisingly, I get the money. Like I mentioned at the start, how you relate with God, it will affect how you speak with him. If you think that God maybe is a God of wrath, is a commander, is a what, that's how you'll speak with him, timidly or what. But when you fall in love with God, dear viewer out there, my high five friend, like, I really love you so much. And I'll tell you the truth, whatever burden you're carrying, just come to God. Firstly, relate with God, like, intimately. He's a relational God. He loves friends. You remember those songs we used to sing of, I am a friend of God? Like, he really, really loves us. And he loves us. He calls us his own. Those that know me, I always give myself names. Today I will wake up, I'm a God's very own. Another day, God's special possession, God's lovely daughter, all those things. Like, and God, that's what he loves. He wants us to love him, to show off. Like, when he appears, he will show off and show big. Like, and that's what he expects from us. Like, to relate with him intimately, like, brag about God, fall in love with him, like, You know, another thing I've learned, like God loves us when we are at that point of total surrender. And I always remember, I'm always reminded about the time of COVID, where some people would come and they're like, we don't even know, like, we know nothing about COVID. We don't know what, we have tried this, but we don't, like, COVID, we have failed to find something that cures COVID or what. And I'm like, yeah, that's how good. Like, there are some things that it's only God that has an answer. So if you want to know what other people don't know, it's only through prayer. Ask God. He tells us in his word that he will tell us things that we know nothing about. And that's it. If you want to turn out to be different from the rest, just ask God. And what really amazes me is how he has an answer about everything. He has an answer about everything. Like, you're there and you're this kind. Me, I love creativity. Like, I just love having new ideas, new things that I'm alone. For those that know me. Like, where everyone is speaking about me, I want to bring like the Z here. Yeah. So, like, I just love creativity, and that's how I got the prayer mountain, with my journal, with my book. And then I'll write down ideas after ideas after ideas, and then everyone will be like, but how did you think about this? Yeah, God, like, there are things he has kept for himself. And you know why he has kept them for himself? He's looking for someone who will not feel pity for herself, like, me praying all the time, who will offer themselves to go and look for that, the unsearchable. Like, you go and search for that is unsearchable, that precious thing that you have to go an extra mile to look for it. Yeah. So, dear Bade out there, I would encourage you, just have your time and tell God about anything. Like, come in that place of, dear Lord, I don't even know what to do. I've been there, and I tell God, I don't even know what to do, and I don't even know what to answer. I am in a fix. For those that are inside hustles, you know what I'm talking about. You've started your car hustle and you don't even know what next. For those that are in business right now, like, I know, yeah, things, if and all that, yeah, things are thinking, but you're there and you don't even know what to do. But you come to God in the place of total surrender, like that total surrender of, like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to eat. I don't know what. I don't know. Lord, I'm here. That's the time the Lord enjoys most, because he knows we are stubborn people. He knows we are very stubborn. If he gives you something in a time when you're you might not even know that the Lord has given you. You will take all the glory and, I studied too much, I know how to do this, I know. But when you are God, like, that's our God. He loves it just like a dad. You know, you love it when your children come in total surrender and are like, Daddy, I want to tell you the truth. I cannot manage this. Would you please help me? Dads enjoy it. You know, our parents enjoy it. And also our Father in heaven does enjoy it. And then another thing I have learned is that God will always give an answer to every prayer. Every prayer you make, God gives an answer. But of course, some answers are yes, others are wait a bit, others I'll give you later. I've prayed for some things, and you pray for a thing, and I think you pray, you fast for it, you do what? But then God will not say no. Like, I've not had God say no. But how I know that it's not for now, he always takes away my urge. He always takes away my feeling for that thing. He always takes away my craving for that thing. And when he does take it, I'm like, oh, God is telling me, wait a bit. Of course, those days it used to bother me. I'm like, but God doesn't answer my prayers. And I come to him, I'm like, but Dad, the other time I asked you this and you did give it to me. And even now I'm asking. And then you also didn't give it to me, you know? But slowly by slowly, like, my dad, he keeps, like, as a father, he keeps on teaching us. So he actually taught me of this whole thing. It's for not for now, it's for later. And I'm like, okay, dear Lord, if it's for later, take away this whole mind, wait until it's ready. And when I pray for something and, like, my mind stays there, my feelings stay there, like, body stays there. Like I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Well, I'm avoiding to use examples because, yeah, I don't want you to be there like, hey, this chick is just praying for a iPhone. When I have like iPhone 20, if it's about to come anyway. So anyway, but when I see like my feeling for it has stayed, or my urge for it has stayed, I know, oh, this is a yes from God, like it's about to happen. Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen,